Hello everybody, my name is Ben. How are you guys doing today? And welcome to my recap of Apple's WWDC event that happened today, September 10th, 2013. And as you can see, there's the cover photo for Apple's event. This should brighten everyone's day. And apparently, it brightened up a lot of people today, but also disappointed a lot of people as well. But anyway, let's get on to the recap video right here. So first thing, Apple always starts off with their updates, their company updates, and I'm just going to jump right to the first thing that they were talking about. And excuse me if you see me looking at my iPhone because I got notes down here. So first, Tim Cook took the stage by talking about iOS 7 and then had somebody else go up there. I believe it was like Craig Federighi. I did watch the event, guys, just so you know. And he was just basically talking in more depth about iOS 7, although they already demonstrated it at the last event in June. And it basically like responds to motion control center. You know, when you swipe up from the bottom, you get control center. Those are like toggle settings. And for those of you guys that use a jailbroken iOS device, or if you use Android, you'll probably know what they are. And of course, Siri has gotten smarter and a more natural voice versus a robotic voice. And of course, you get new notification sounds, whatever, yada yada yada. And iOS 7 is packed with over 200 features in there. That is insane. But the features doesn't stop there. So when is iOS 7 going to be available? It'll be available on September 18th. So that's in about 8 days. And iOS 7 will be available for iPhone 4 and later, iPad 2 and later, as well as the iPad mini, and it'll be available on the iPod Touch 5th generation. So any of you guys that are earlier from the iPod Touch 5th generation, even the 4th gen iPod Touch, I'm sorry, but you won't be getting iOS 7. You'll have to get a newer device for that, or just get the new iPod. Next, they talk about iWork, and iWork is actually one of the best-selling productivity apps out there. And what Apple did to spread more of iWork was that, and they also mentioned about iMovie and iPhoto, because iWork is basically for productivity, and iMovie and iPhoto is for creation. So iOS is not only just for media consumption, but it's also for media creation. So with all these 5 apps added on together, Apple is making these apps free for any new device. So when you pick up a new device and you got iOS 7 on there, it's going to give you a pop-up menu where you can download all the apps, and those are completely free, just so you know. Before, you had to pay $10 for each app, so just the iWork apps concerned, if you were to like pay $10 for each of those 3 apps, that's a total of $30 that you're spending right there. Plus you get taxed with the government when you're purchasing from iTunes. So that's all the software stuff. And now let's talk about the iPhone. Okay, and rumors were right. There were 2 iPhones announced at this event. Let's start off with the cheaper iPhone. This is known as the iPhone 5C, which basically stands for all colors, I believe. I did see on Apple's website. And what I'm going to do in this video is that there will be a slideshow of pictures of the iPhone 5C going on, and at the same time I will be discussing the specs with you. So let's take a look. So the iPhone 5C has a 4-inch Retina display with a resolution of 1136 by 640 at 326 pixels per inch. Also, this uses the previous generation of Apple system on a chip, also known as the A6 processor that was found in the iPhone 5. And of course, for the camera, it features a 8 megapixel camera on the back that shoots in 2.4 aperture, as well as a front-facing camera with 1.2 megapixels. And of course, for the Wi-Fi, this has 802.11a, b, g, and n, and when you're using 802.11n, it has 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz. And of course, this works on any LTE network, whether you're using AT&T or Verizon. They both have LTE, and then this will work on an LTE network as well. This features Bluetooth 4.0, And as far as battery life is concerned, you're going to get 10 hours of 3G talk time, and you're going to get 250 hours for standby time. And of course, the pricing as concerned for the iPhone 5C, for a 16GB model, you can get this at $99, and of course, at a 32GB model, you can get this at $199. And this is available in multiple colors, as you can see. Alright, so as you can see from the slideshow, as well as my voice discussing the specs with you guys, the iPhone 5C looks pretty slick. Now, I'm still on the fence on why Apple decided to create a cheaper iPhone. I mean, they could have stuck with the iPhone 5, just charged that at a $99 price point, but the iPhone 5C actually replaces the iPhone 5. So Apple was saying it's pretty much like the iPhone 5, but more fun and better design, I guess. That's what they were saying. And the back is made out of one part, so it's the front because it's glass. And of course, Apple has some accessories coming out with this, and it's basically silicone cases, which the cases kind of look weird to me. It's a full silicone case, but like maybe 3/4 of the bottom, they're all cut out circles. That seems kind of strange to me, but I guess that works for some people. You guys want 2 color combinations. Now, back to the iPhone 5C. It's made out of a hard-coated polycarbonate. So this is a plastic design, as you can see from the pictures that were shown. And this has a steel reinforced structure. And this is going to run iOS 7 out of the box. Okay, so next, let's go on to the next iPhone that they announced, which is the iPhone 5S, or the iPhone 5 Speed, because the S stands for speed. So it's pretty much the same design as the iPhone 5, but with improved specs, and it actually has some minor design changes as well. So first off, let's take a look at what the iPhone 5S looks like, and as well as discussing the specs with you guys. So the iPhone 5S features a 4-inch Retina display with a resolution of 1136 by 640 at 326 pixels per inch. Also, this uses Apple's next generation of their system on a chip, which is a 64-bit A7 processor, which is supposed to be twice the power and twice the graphics versus its predecessor, the A6 processor. And this has support for OpenGLES 3.0, and this is basically used for gaming, so you get better gaming graphics out of it. And this also features another chip in there, which is the M7 motion coprocessor, which measures the motion of your device. As far as the camera is concerned, you have an 8-megapixel sapphire crystal lens cover on the back, and of course you got a 1.2 megapixel camera on the front. And the sensor on the rear is 15% bigger compared to the iPhone 5. And this shoots photo or video with a 2.2 aperture. And this has a new feature called True Tone, which is basically dual LED flash. And this has a slow motion video of 120 frames per second. Not to mention that this features Apple's new fingerprint scanner, which is located right at the home button, and Apple is officially naming this feature Touch ID. And if you'll notice on the pictures that are scrolling by right now, you'll notice that there's a ring around the home button, and that's what the fingerprint scanner is. And of course, this has 802.11 A, B, G, and N for Wi-Fi, with 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz at 802.11n, and this features Bluetooth 4.0. And as far as battery life is concerned, you're going to get 10 hours of 3G talk time, as well as 250 hours of standby time. As far as pricing is concerned about the iPhone 5S, 16GB model is $199, 32GB is $299, and 64GB is $399. Alright, so as you've seen from the slideshows, the iPhone 5S looks pretty slick, even though it's the same design as the iPhone 5, but with another color added onto it, and that is gold. So this is available in silver, gold, and spear gray, I believe it's pronounced as. But let's take a look at what else Apple announced with the iPhone 5S, because they announced a ton of stuff for the iPhone 5S. So The camera, as far as that's concerned, it's got bigger pixels in there, and it has an auto white balance, so it'll automatically adjust the white balance every time you open up the camera app. And you can take multiple photos, and what your phone does is that it'll scan for the good photo, because when you're taking multiple photos, those are all saved onto the camera roll, and then you're going to have a bunch of photos pop up right in front of you. But the iOS 7 fixes that, so that way when you go into the Photos application, it'll automatically show up the photo that it thinks it's the best photo out of all the other ones that it took. Okay, and as far as the True Tone Flash feature, it fixes the flashing problems. So I don't know if you guys experienced this, but sometimes when you're taking pictures and you're using the LED flash, sometimes the colors are a little bit off and it doesn't look very natural. For instance, let's say if you were to take a picture of a wall and the color is baby blue, and when you take a picture of the wall with the LED flash on, it doesn't look very baby bluish, if you guys know what I mean. It looks more like a darker blue. With the True Tone Flash feature, it fixes that, which is awesome, and makes the pictures more natural. As well as it has auto image stabilization, so sometimes when you're taking a picture, it might be a little bit shaky, and then once you take the picture, it looks blurry and you have to delete it and try to take the picture again, which is a pain. I recently did that in a supermarket because I wanted to remember what product I was buying, and it looked blurry, so I had to retake the photo like 3 times. And it has burst mode, which takes 10 photos of frames a second and picks the best photo. And Apple put in a feature called slow-mo. So slow-mo, it's basically where like you record a scene and it records in slow motion. That's it. Next, Apple talked about the security of iOS 7, or the iPhone 5S as I should say. And they announced a feature called Touch ID. And Touch ID, it's basically where like you use your finger and then you put on the home button, and then that's a fingerprint scanner. And the fingerprint scanner is basically for security reasons, so all you have to do is push the button, and if it recognizes your fingerprint, then it'll unlock the phone. Otherwise, if you're using a different fingerprint, then your phone won't be unlocked. I mean, you could do that with a passcode, but actually half of the people that own an iPhone don't use a passcode because they find that tedious, and that's too bad. There's stuff's going to be stolen, all their accounts and banking stuff like that is stolen if somebody were to take their phone right out of their hand. With the iPhone 5S, because of the fingerprint scanner feature, if you were to put your finger on there, it'll unlock, and if it doesn't recognize the fingerprint, your phone's going to stay locked and you don't have to worry about your information, and all you got to do is worry about wiping your phone. Alright, and as far as accessories are concerned, they have leather cases for this iPhone 5S, and it's going to cost you around 40 bucks, with tax and everything. So what is the price lineup? So I already told you guys the prices of the iPhone 5C and the iPhone 5S. What about the iPhone 4S? Well, the iPhone 4S is going to stay in the price range just for free. So you can get the iPhone 4S on a 2-year contract for free. Now, if you were to go to the AT&T store, they're probably going to charge you 99 cents because I don't think they give out a phone for free unless if it was a feature phone. But if you were to buy it from Apple directly, then they'll give you the phone without even taking $1 from you. But you're still on a 2-year contract, pay for the data plan and everything, and you can either get it in black or white as usual. And as far as the iPhone 5C is concerned, you can actually pre-order those on September 13th. And if you want to get the iPhone 5S, you actually have to wait till September 20th when both these phones are going to be released, because the iPhone 5C and the iPhone 5S does not come out until September 20th, and that's when you can start purchasing at the store. With the iPhone 5C, Apple's going to be nice about it by letting you guys pre-order it. So that's it. That's all I got for you in this recap video. What do you guys think about the products that I just mentioned? Are you guys excited, not excited? And I should mention this. before Apple closed the event, after talking about the iPhone 5s, there was a live performance that they invited because they were talking about music. They usually do this when they're always talking about music. They always have somebody perform on the stage for them. Anyway, are you guys excited about the iPhone 5s? Are you guys not excited? Or what about the iPhone 5C? Do you think it's great? Do you think it's crazy? I'd like to see what you guys say in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will be doing videos on iOS 7 when that comes out, and I'll have it installed on my iPhone 4 as well as my iPod Touch 5th generation. So if you guys want to see the videos of me demonstrating iOS 7, go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you guys want to. I definitely won't be getting the new iPhones because, as I stated before in my previous videos, I'm not 18, so I can't get a data plan under my name, so I just gotta wait till I turn 18. Plus, I probably can't afford it right now, because if I were to get it now, I'd be broke in a few months. So, I gotta make more money, so that way I can save up. It's all part of life. Take that as a lesson from me. That's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.